Chapter 6. Milo was shattered. All that work, and now he'd never be perfect. At first, he thought he would start over with day 1 and the broccoli, but he decided it would be useless, and there was no sense trying to pretend he'd never fallen asleep. Dr. Silverfish would realize exactly what he was up to. Milo picked up the book. Dr. Silverfish looked at him with a knowing smile. Milo did not smile back. He just opened the book. Congratulations, you're perfect. What more is there to say? Unless, by some strange chance, you did not follow my instructions precisely, in which case, turn the page. Milo felt awful, but he turned the page anyway. Congratulations, you are not perfect. It's ridiculous to want to be perfect anyway, but then everybody's ridiculous sometimes, except perfect people. You know what perfect is? Perfect is not eating or drinking or talking or moving a muscle or making even the teensiest mistake. Perfect is never doing anything wrong, which means never doing anything at all. Perfect is boring. Suddenly, Milo remembered that auditorium full of perfect people. He brightened a little as he turned the page. So, you're not perfect. Wonderful. Have fun. Eat things that give you bad breath. Trip over your own shoelaces. Laugh. Let somebody else laugh at you. Perfect people never do any of those things. All they do is sit around and sip weak tea and think about how perfect they are. But they're not really 100% perfect anyway. You should see them when they get the hiccups. Milo smiled. He could just imagine a whole auditorium full of perfect hiccupers. Phooey, who needs them? You can drink pickle juice and imitate gorillas and do silly dances and sing silly songs and wear funny hats and be as imperfect as you please and still be a good person. Good people are hard to find nowadays, and they're a lot more fun than perfect people any day of the week. What do you guys think about this? Isn't that great? Milo was feeling a lot better. He turned the page. Well, this is the last page, so in conclusion, I say to you, thanks for tuning in. That's all till next time. Be good. If you still want to be perfect, go back to page 1 and start over. You are obviously a slow learner. But now I must be going. One of my Venus flytraps seems to be attacking my most unusual toothpick. Goodbye. P.S. Be sure to watch for my new book, Make $4 billion by next Thursday. Milo closed the book. It was hard to tell, but Dr. Silverfish almost seemed to be winking at him from the back cover. Milo went downstairs. His dad was in the living room reading the paper. Milo, he exclaimed, what are you doing down here? I fell asleep, Milo said. I just woke up. You mean to say you won't be perfect after all? Milo grinned. I guess not. Maybe it's just as well, said his father. I don't know if I could stand living with a perfect person. What do you mean? Alyssa said, coming down the stairs. I'm perfect. You sure are, Milo replied. Perfectly silly. Ducking the roller skate Alyssa threw down, Milo laughed and went into the kitchen. He fixed himself a breakfast of pickles and salami. He whistled a silly tune he made up. He made a horrible face at himself in the living room mirror. He felt human again. Milo found his mom and got her to drive him to the baseball field just in time for the game. Any other day, he would have wished he hadn't. He dropped a fly ball for a triple, and he let a grounder skip through his legs for a home run. And he struck out with the bases loaded. His teammates got angry with him, and even the manager looked annoyed. Normally, Milo would have been upset with himself, but today he was calm. Nobody's perfect, he said with a shrug, and then he went out and made a brilliant catch of a long fly ball. It wasn't enough to save the game for his team, but it felt good. If you never dropped a ball or struck out, baseball would be as boring as sipping weak tea. That afternoon, Milo took Dr. Silverfish's book back to the library. He was through with perfection for good. A few weeks later, one of his classmates came to school with a stalk of broccoli dangling from her neck. A perfect person might have given her a few words of helpful advice. Not Milo. He just took a bite of his garlic and stinky cheese sandwich and wiped the mustard that dribbled down his chin. He didn't say a word. The end. What did you think of that book? What did Milo learn?